What's up, YouTube? What's up, sports fans? It's iLivetowin, joined again with
Billy B.
And today we're going to be giving you guys the first episode in what will be a series of episodes in our top blank segments. And I say top blank because it might be a top 5, it might be a top 10. This week happens to be 2 top 5s. First, Billy B is going to open up with the top 5 NBA teams at the moment, and then I'll give you guys my top 5 NBA teams. Then we're going to follow it up with the top 5 NBA players at the moment, which I will open up with, and Billy B will close off with. So without further ado, Billy B, what's your top 5 teams?
Alright, for my NBA top 5 teams, I'm going to start out with my honorable mention. They didn't quite make the top 5, but I felt like I had to mention them. I'm going to start out with the Indiana Pacers. They are 22-12, they are 11-4 at home, and they've won 5 straight games. My number 5 team, the Los Angeles Clippers. They are 21-12, they are 12-5 at home, and they are 6-4 in their last 10 games. My number 4 team is the San Antonio Spurs. They are 24-11, they are 13-2 at home, and they are 8-2 in their last 10 games. My number 3 team is the Chicago Bulls. They are 29-8, they are 14-2 at home, and they have won 4 straight games. My number 2 team is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are 29-7. They are a miraculous 15-1 at home, and they've won 7 straight games. And of course, my number 1 team, you could have guessed it, the Miami Heat. They are 28-7. They are 15-2 at home, and they've won 9 straight games. And there you have it. That's my top 5 teams. All right, so there was my top 5 teams. iLivetowin's gonna give you his right now.
Alright, so my top 5 teams. I'm going to start you guys off with my honorable mention. My honorable mention is the San Antonio Spurs, who have put together a 24-11 record. The reason I make them my honorable mention is because they have a core nucleus of older players in Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. And I do not think that they can get it done against the younger teams in the playoffs. Alright, my number 5 team, the Los Angeles Lakers. They come in at 21-14. They have Kobe Bryant, who is the best closer in the league and the best player in the league. And Andrew Bynum, who is playing great this year, probably taking over the role as second tier on that team over Paul Gasol. My 4th team is the Chicago Bulls. At 29-8, they have the league's best player in Kyle Korver. Just kidding, but he is my favorite player. And the Bulls have a good team with Derrick Rose leading the way, who has struggled a little bit this year. His play has fallen off a little bit, but the Bulls have some good defense and a solid team overall. Number 3, we have the Los Angeles Clippers coming in at 21-12. Lob City, led by Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, have a combination of highlights, offense, and good defense, with DeAndre Jordan being one of the leading block men in the league. I think he averages 2.6, I believe. He's right up there within the top 3, and they have a very dangerous team heading into the playoffs. My number 2 team is the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and pretty much nobody else. The Oklahoma City Thunder have gotten off to a 29-7 record, and they have a young nucleus. They want to play, they want to win. They almost beat the Mavericks last year in the playoffs. This year, I think they're going to go pretty far. And number 1 is the Miami Heat. At 28-7, the New York Yankees of the Basketball Association. The Miami Heat have a core of 3 players in LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, who can get any foul call they so choose or walk with the ball as much as they would like. This makes them really hard to stop along with their talent. So they are my number 1 team. Alright, there was my top 5 teams. Me and Billy B differed a little bit, but hey, that's what makes the show interesting, right? Now let's get into my top 5 NBA players. Time to give you guys my top 5 players. My honorable mention first is Chris Paul, who is averaging 19.6 points per game, 2.3 steals per game, and 8.5 assists per game, leading Lob City to many victories. Number 5, we have Dwight Howard, an absolute beast. 20.2 points per game, good for 10th in the league. 15 rebounds per game, good for 1st in the league. 2.24 blocks per game, good for 4th in the league, and overall monster. Number 4, Kevin Love, 24.5 points per game, 13.7 rebounds per game. Kevin Love is putting in one hell of a year. Number 3, LeBron James. 27.7 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game. He is putting in a great season. A lot of people think he's the best player in the league, and a lot of people think that he should be up for MVP. Number 2 is Kevin Durant. 28 points per game and 7.9 rebounds per game. Possibly the best scorer in the NBA right now. And number 1 is Kobe Bryant. Even at his age, 33 years old, he's been in the league for several years. 28.5 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game. The best player in the league, the best closer since Michael Jordan, possibly the best closer of all time. Kobe Bryant is still the number 1 player in the league despite getting older, having multiple injuries over the past couple of years, and just getting assaulted by Dwayne Wade in the All-Star game. And there was my top 5 players. Now Billy B is going to give you his.
And for my NBA top 5 players, again, I have some honorable mentions. I have 2 of them that couldn't quite crack the top 5. I'm going to start out with Russell Westbrook. He has 23.6 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, and 1.8 steals per game. And my other honorable mention, Chris Paul, 19.6 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 2.3 steals per game, and 8.5 assists per game. And here is my starting of the top 5. My number 5 player, Kevin Love. He's averaging 24.5 points per game, an astonishing 13.7 rebounds per game, and 1.9 assists per game. My number 4 player, Derrick Rose, 22.4 points per game, 0.9 steals per game, and 7.6 assists per game. My number 3 player, my favorite player in the league, Kevin Durant. He's averaging 28 points per game, 7.9 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game. My number 2 player, Kobe Bryant, leads the league in points per game at 28.5, 5.8 rebounds per game, and 5.0 assists per game. And of course, my number 1 player in the league, LeBron James. He is averaging 27.7 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game. And there you have it, my top 5 players in the league. Just like our NBA top 5 teams, we differed again from our players. Well, and with that, that's the end of our video. As always, give us the thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comments below, give us your top 5 teams and players right here, and see you next video.